Bills fans are looking forward to the NFL schedule coming out at 8 o'clock tonight. Our sports team, of course, following that closely for you. In the meantime, there is one date already circled on the calendar. That's October 8th, when the Bills will play the Jags at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. Many fans have been all over their phones, maybe in front of a laptop, trying to check out all those travel sites to see what the cost will be to go to that big game. So let's discuss that live tonight with Elizabeth Carey, Director of Public Relations for AAA here in our region. It's great to have you here in person.
Oh, sure. Yeah, happy to be here.
Always great to talk to you about this and kind of pick your brain. I know people right now, we've discussed a lot. International travel is back. It was decimated during the pandemic. You think with so many people now traveling, prices go up. So for people looking October in London, is it going to be a pricey one?
The prices are definitely up. International travel up 200% compared to last year. London tops the list, up 300% compared to last year. So even before this game was announced, London was at the top of the bucket list.
Wow.
So a lot of people heading there. So you're talking about round trip flights, $700, $800, $900, depending on what day you choose to go. The cheapest alternatives would be going out of Toronto. You'd get a direct flight over, to Heathrow in London. Otherwise, if you fly out of Buffalo, you connect through New York, Philly, one of those bigger airports.
When people are talking about making this trip, it's about more than just going over there to watch one football game, right? They're going to want to see London. They're going to want to experience things. And on that front, the London Bills backers group is trying to help people out. Let's listen to this.
One of the things we're going to do is kind of put together a Bills backers guide to London and help everybody sort of navigate those questions as they think about planning their trips.
Yeah, you really need to hear from the locals, right? When you're trying to plan all this out. But another thing that some people want to do, instead of separately booking their flight and their hotel and all the things that they want to do, and maybe even game tickets, is look for these package deals. And AAA obviously does that for a lot of different stuff. Do you anticipate that we will see a lot of those?
We're working on it, so it's kind of hard. Our group travel department's trying to put together a package, but they want to make sure they can get a block of rooms and the group travel at a good rate and package something up for people. So stay tuned. That should be coming. Also looking at the rest of the schedule as well. Other places that people like to go, like for instance, there was a New York Jets game we took a motor coach to last year. People loved that. So definitely some packages will be coming out, and you'll see more of them from other groups as well. So that is a good way to do it. But a lot of people I've heard, even on social media, saying, well, we're going all the way to London. We're going to go to Ireland while we're there. We're going to see someone else while we're there because, they're already across the pond. What else can they do when they're there?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine there has to be some cost savings there when you do these group things, right? I mean, that's why they become such a popular thing. You're getting a discount.
Right, you are. And if you look at hotel rates in London, it varies. Like there's some right by the game that are $150 a night, but then there's some that are $400 a night. So you want to make sure you're picking what you want. And a lot of the hotel rooms in the UK and in Europe are a lot smaller than what we're used to here. Yeah. So that's something that people should plan for too.
So I was just in Europe about a month and a half ago. I went out of Toronto, which you just mentioned, round trip less than $500. I think I got lucky a little bit. We booked it in advance. But when you fly out of Toronto, you have the expense of having to drive up there, maybe get a hotel room depending on when your flights are. Is it always cheaper to fly out of Toronto?
It's usually always cheaper. Usually? Yeah, if you're flying to Europe, it's usually always cheaper out of the Toronto airport. But again, there's other costs involved. But there's some great rates as far as if you don't need a hotel and you're just going to park there and then fly out and then come back there. But then again, you have to think about that. The flight lands, you got to get in the car and drive all the way back across the border. Some people don't like to do that, but then you also don't have the risk of taking 2 planes or possibly even 3 planes.
Finally, I've got a little less than a minute left. Whenever you look at the right time to book a trip like this, you want to do it enough in advance. So should people be doing it right now? I mean, October may seem like a ways off, but I guess it's not.
Well, with the big interest and the high demand for people going back and traveling internationally, if you see a rate that you like, I would snag that now because it doesn't look like anything's coming down anytime soon. Demand is up, there'll be limited availability, and there's going to be a lot of people wanting to go for that specific game in October. It's not just Bills fans that want to go. Jags fans are going to want to go too, so you have to consider that. So, the stadium holds about 65,000 people. We want to see it full, of course, with the red, white, and blue cheering on the Bills.
Are you trying to convince AAA to let you lead that
I think that I would be a great travel host.
I think you would. Elizabeth Carey with AAA of Western and Central New York. Great to see you in person.
Oh, you too. Thanks. Go Bills.